What is going on, guys? Matt O'Leary back with another video, and we have some good news. The New York Jets schedule will be officially released on Thursday by the NFL at 8 o'clock. They are doing this big grand thing. So guess what? We are going live for it. So make sure to hang out for that. The schedule release party will be live on the channel Thursday at 8 o'clock. But what I wanted to do today was go through and I'll give my predictions for what I think the schedule is going to be, how many primetime games the Jets play, all that fun stuff. You guys can follow along and do your own as well if you want. I will start by listing off their home and away opponents, and then we'll go through and make the schedule. Okay. So the New York Jets in 2023 play the Commanders, Eagles, Falcons, Chargers, Chiefs, Texans, Bills, Dolphins, and Pats at home. On the road, they play the Cowboys, Giants, Broncos, Browns, Raiders, Bills, Dolphins, and New England Patriots on the road. So those are the New York Jets' 17 opponents. There are 18 weeks in the season, and let's get this thing rolling. So the New York Jets will start their season against, I've been talking about this one for a while, the New York Giants, which is technically an away game, on Monday Night Football. Why? Because it is the 22nd anniversary of September 11th, and I think it would be a good opportunity for the league to honor that day, or just, I don't know. I think it would be good for the city. I think it would be, have both New York teams who were obviously affected by that. You could have, FDNY, NYPD, all those guys on the field before the game. I think it'd be really cool. Although I've heard people say, well, then that means Rodgers' first game in MetLife isn't actually a Jets game, which is a Jets home game, which I guess is a fair critique, but I'm going to do it. So the Jets, they get their first of 4 of primetime games. I'm going to put the Jets in primetime 4 times. They could be in primetime as much as 6 times on the year. So something to keep in mind when you are building your own schedule at home. So I'll say against the Giants, Monday Night Football to start the season. Week 2 home opener against the New England Patriots, giving you 2009 vibes. No, Rex Ryan is not going to be calling you up and saying to bring the noise. But instead, the Jets will bring the noise in week 2 and hopefully beat down the Patriots and, well, beat them, because they haven't beaten them since 2015, which is embarrassing. Week 3, I'm going to say on the road in Buffalo. So you get a divisional opponent and a road game out of the way. Week 4, they come home against the Los Angeles Chargers. Not a primetime game, but that would put them in the 4 o'clock window because, well, let's face it, it's not really fair when these teams go on the road and they got to play a 1 o'clock game as a West Coast team when it's really like 9 o'clock their time. So that'll be like one of those, the CBS 4 o'clock window games. Week 5, on the road against the Dallas Cowboys. Sunday Night Football. The Jets finally make their return to Sunday Night Football. Jerry's World. That'll be a big audience game. And I know a lot of people have wanted that game for Thanksgiving. More on Thanksgiving coming up in a little bit. Some people, I believe Will Parkinson of Turn on the Jets has clamored for that to be the first game of the season, a Sunday night game. That'd be really cool also. I'd be down for that if it's not going to be against the Giants there. But Sunday Night Football on the road in Dallas. Week 6 on the road in Cleveland. I am putting them back-to-back games on the road. It's not a perfect schedule. It doesn't always go home, road, home, road, home, road. Sometimes you have to play back-to-back road games. Sometimes you have to play a couple home games in a row. So I'll put them on the road against Cleveland, then at home against Washington, the Commanders in week 7, and home against Miami before the bye week comes in at week 9. Pretty much right smack in the middle. That's, to me, I think that's the perfect time for when you want your bye week, right in the middle of the year. Outside of the bye is when I have the Jets going out to Vegas. Sometimes you do the back-to-back far road games. Other times I think it's a good thing to, do it after a bye. So they will go out to Vegas after the bye, then have Houston at home, Buffalo at home in week 12, which will be the night game for Thanksgiving. Again, some people have mentioned that that they want to see the Jets play against the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. They did that in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. But they have also played on Thanksgiving a couple other times in their history. 2010 was a good memory against the Bengals. 2012 against the Pats, a bad memory. So instead, I think the Bills, Jets, Thanksgiving, home game, that'd be cool. I'm in on that. Week 13 on the road against Miami. Week 14 against the Philadelphia Eagles at home. Another Sunday night football game for the New York Jets. Their fourth and final time on primetime will be that week. Then week 15 on the road to Denver before coming back home against Kansas City. Tough matchup, but I'm looking forward to that one. Jets, Chiefs. That one has potential to be a primetime game, so maybe that one eventually is put in primetime, or it's a Sunday night or Monday night game. But I could also see this as, the late window CBS game with Tony Romo and Jim Nantz on the call. I could see that too. So I'm going to say that's going to be a 4 o'clock CBS game and not a primetime game, although that is, I would say, is definitely a candidate for one that could be in primetime. I'm not going to put it there though. Week 17 against Atlanta, and then on the road in Week 18 against New England. For a while now, the NFL has done the rivalry, like to close out the season. You always close out against a divisional opponent, and sometimes it's like, hey, you're knocking your rival out of a playoff spot, or you got to beat your rival to get into the playoffs. Last year, it was against the Miami Dolphins. The Jets haven't closed out the season against New England since 2020. So if it rotates, right, because 2021 was against the Bills. Last year was against the Dolphins. So if we're on that rotating trend, against New England in Week 18 would seem to make a lot of sense there. So these are the 17 games spread out over 18 weeks. I am very excited to see what the official schedule looks like on Thursday, but I wanted to do my predictions. You can do them as well down below. Again, 18 weeks, 1 bye. Those are the 17 games. If you want, I'll put it as the pinned comment even to make it nice and easy. You can copy and paste and go from there. That's going to do it for me. I'm Matt O'Leary. I'll catch you next time.